So we're in Clovis, California, taking a look at some plumbing underneath the floor here. This is the kitchen, and we came down here to run a water line, and that's our water line that goes back over there. So it's the 4-foot spread girders with the 1 1/8 floor. Anyways, that's the ice maker over there, and this is the kitchen sink. And so when we got done, we were running some water down here just to check the integrity of the line. You've got some repairs here already. You can see right there a Kohler coupling, so just a rubber coupling to tie the old iron pipe or the galvanized pipe to new plastic. And then you've got a not a sanitary tee, a combination Y and 1/8 bend and a clean out here end of run, and then back over to the iron pipe. So this was repaired, and then another Kohler coupling right here. This is repaired whenever you either have documentation of it or you don't, depending on how long you've owned the home. But problem is, you've got water leaking out the bottom of the pipe. Not only is it's not actually dripping out of the band, the whole bottom of the pipe, I don't want to get water all over my phone, but the whole bottom of the pipe right here, that's cracked. So you can see it just dripping out over here and dripping. So it's just dripping out. You can see the scale and the rust, big split. See if I can get my big split right here, right there. And then you can see that's been growing a while, just dripping out of the line. So anyways, I just wanted to document that because you're going to have it repaired, and it's not in our scope of work. You know, not trying to gouge you or generate more work. We hate crawling under floors, number one. And, you know, we did it because we had to run an ice maker over there. And anyways, I'm going to go shut the water off. You'd be best served replacing everything from this pipe. Go ahead, and you can see this is a little back braided, like going downhill. Instead of going uphill, it's going downhill. And so because of that coupling right there, and there's no supports, you need to get some support on it. Yank all that out all the way. You know, we've got a brand new tee up at the kitchen, clean out tee, sanitary tee, that's all glued in and bands. But I would right now, while you can, because you're going to have trouble with this stuff if you leave it, at least in the wall, you can get it brand new. So all we would have to do at this point is loosen up a band, pull that whole piece out right there, replace that at the end with a you know, same thing that you've got right here. You know, put some straps on it, go plastic all the way over to here, and then make a transition right here, and then keep this, because this you can get to. This right here, you know, you can't really tool that. It's completely damaged, and it's attached to that fitting down there. We come down here and start trying to cut things apart, and it's just going to keep breaking all the way up into the wall. So anyways, I'm going to turn the water off because you get a lot of water down here. But I'll get this video over to you today, and you can let me know what you'd like to do. So we're in light helps, Clovis, California, and we just finished a repair down here. Sent a proposal over, but I don't know if we heard back from the owner yet because we're working, not checking emails. Sorry about the fluttering on the picture. It's from this light, but we want to give you some light in here. So anyways, we'll take a picture of the pipe when we get out of here. We took a picture of it and sent it to you, or took a video of it and sent it to you this morning, showing the pipe was corroded through. And you had a Durham clean out on the end, and a Durham 60 up there. And as opposed to just replacing a little bit like they did last time and having trouble again, we replaced it all the way up into the wall in the kitchen. So it's all brand new. And we got ABS and PVC. It's not a problem. We use transition glue. On short notice, we couldn't access the long Y and 1/8 bend fittings with the clean out for your end of the line clean outs. So whatever, you know, this is Lowe's, Home Depot, ABS fittings. But again, we use the green transition glue when we go from the PVC to the ABS. So 90-degree turn there, end of the line clean out with the clean out plug down there, and then a little 45 down to the line, another end of the line clean out here with a plug, and tied back in with a stainless steel band. No Kohler couplings like you saw before. That's approved by code. If you had an inspector come out and inspect it, he would approve that, as opposed to Kohler couplings. So everything here is good. We got additionally, there's one strap on the galvanized line. Christian, duck down. one strap on the line right there. That's not ours. Okay, go ahead and turn back. And then we got a strap on our line up here, just plumber's tape. And then down there at the other, and you can see it before you get to the other clean out strap up. It doesn't really need to be, it's such lightweight pipe. Shouldn't have any trouble, but we put it on there anyways because it's, you know, that's required for an installation. So anyways, everything here looks good. We're gonna go upstairs and take a video of that other line in just a minute. Outside of that, this inspection is done. Okay, so we're done underneath the floor. We're gonna close this back up and then we're done down there. We took a video underneath so we could show you what we did. We did send you a proposal. I don't know if you responded or not because, you know, we go to work and then we can't check our phone and our email messages and whatnot. But anyway, so that's repaired. There was not a choice on our part to wait and see what you'd like to do, but you can see here's the pipe. This was the bottom side. That was the band that we were showing you. That was the clean out that someone did a repair at some point, and they used that big Calder coupling right there, which we don't use. And then of course piece of plastic and then clean out. And so the way that was coming, this was what it looked like. And that was your pipe, which runs over to the bathroom. So there's a pipe underneath the floor that runs over, and so that would be like this, coming from there. So that guy tied in. Anyways, it's on the floor like this because I have to show you what we did. So that line coming from the bathroom, and then it went over. This was the bottom side, completely corroded through. You can see, especially right here, it's just completely cracked through, and that was where it was pouring water from the video I sent you earlier. But it's just potholed all the way through, and that happens with this. It's sometimes if it's not graded correctly, if the pipe is flat or graded the wrong way down instead of up, and the water drains down, it just sits on the bottom of that steel and corrodes through. And we could have come over here and cut it right there, but you've got that Durham fitting, and so the same thing where it's screwed in, those threads are a suspect. Same thing. So this is where we tied it into the kitchen. This guy right here. This is what came up to the floor and tied into the bottom of the kitchen. And so, you know, we could have left it. This looks like it's in good shape. But, you know, once we button that wall up, once you sheetrock and put cabinets in and all that, you have no choice further. There's nothing you can do. You could try and tool it down there, but it's just a lot of effort. So, usually just on horizontal pipe you have that trouble. Anything vertical, which means it's got some grade, like this one, not in bad shape because water rolls down it pretty good. And then vertical pipe, not too bad either. And so anyways, we replace that for you. It's all brand new, and you know, we can work with you on the price, no big deal. We just wanted to get it done inside the time frame that we're going to be here. We have one more day tomorrow to complete it. We want to get this tub set and be done. I need to get some help out here to get this tub installed. We did get you, so that's that project. Just real quick, we got you all framed out here in the living room. So here's the sheetrock we cut out. It just fits right back in place. We haven't framed it back in yet. We got all our pieces right here, 1, 2, 3, 3 studs, and then a couple of blocks, you know, to go back in here. And so that's where the tub has to go in. Just no room. It's such an oversized tub, you can't turn it in place. So anyways, that's the video for today. And of course, when we get done, we'll walk through the entire building and show you what we did. And outside of that, that project is done. So we're here in Clovis, California, just finished installing a lot of plumbing, but mainly a little bathroom remodel here. This is your brand new tub, and by the way, we've gone through this and brand new out of the box. Nothing's cracked, nothing's scratched, nothing's dented. This is in perfect shape. We'd like for you to certify that before you get too many trades in here, because once we leave, you know, we can't warrant the tub, but you know, and then there's no light in here, so we're just, you know, showing you with a flashlight that you're in real good shape. So throughout construction, you're going to have people in here, electricians, HVAC guys, drywall guys, tile guys, and we're going to give you a couple layers of foam on the bottom and then a plastic tub protector. But you know, just be aware that, you know, it's in great shape. So it's kind of hard because you're out of town. We'd love for you to be here so you could sign off on this. But anyway, so over here, number one, you got your Moen valve. That's what we talked about. Moen rough-in valve. You got it came right out of your kit, so that's yours. We extended it up got the valve in, got the tub spout in, and then got that high riser like you requested. So that's installed, and that's good. There's a little conflict with the HVAC guy. He came into our wall, our plumbing wall, instead of staying in his wall. You can do rectangular piping. He chose round, so quite a bit of blocking going on here to get it. Anyways, that's installed, no big deal. Over here, we took the hot and the cold water that was existing from the sink, and we just took it and went down below the floor, came back up over the new sink, and so tightened your waistline, got it as close to center as we could with the drain, and then a couple of water stub outs. That's Uponor 90-degree copper stub outs right there going down to the Uponor tubing. A couple of shut off valves, quarter turn on, quarter turn off. And so that's all tied back in. Right here is where we got your washer on. And the reason that's the vent from the toilet. See, the only thing you can run off that is a drain for a lavatory sink. That's it. Over here, this is a full 2-inch drain line, so you can get your washing machine off of that. So you can see right there, cut into it, 2-inch T, and then it traps over. And then of course, clean out. Show you that from the opposite side. So it's required to have a clean out. That's what that is right there. Be stubbed into the closet, and so that sticks out of the wall. If something backs up, you run your snake down there and clear the line. And then of course it traps over here and comes up to your new recessed wall box. So that's by Uponor as well. We don't buy Odie or anybody else off-brand. So Uponor piping, you see the red and the blue. The insulation is not to actually insulate the pipe, it's to keep the pipe from touching each other. Down here where you can see, that's usually why we put insulation on, just so it doesn't bounce off of the other line. So washing machine box is in, lavatory sink is plumbed, toilet is plumbed, tub is plumbed, and of course set, and you got full mortar underneath. We'll take a picture of it in a minute. This flange we set 15 inches off the tub, which is what we talked about, because you've got such a small cabinet over here that we wanted to keep this as tight to the tub as possible. So not a lot of room, but 15 inches over. Stainless steel screws, got the flange mounted, got everything tied in. Putty is there for us. Leave it alone. Don't have your floor guys take that off of there so we can get our bolts in later. So don't scrape that off, please. And then just to show you a picture underneath, they are asking between 1 inch and 2 inches of mortar. And of course, that's what we gave you. So you can see in here, hopefully. So that's your mortar, and it's got 4 legs. One way that they suggested that you mount it is there's a leg on this side, a leg on that side. Is just take some construction adhesive and glue it to the ground. Unfortunately, the floor is pretty unlevel in there, and so we opted to do the mortar, and that's right in your directions, 1 to 2 inches. And then of course that black plastic is to keep the moisture off the floor. And so it's mortared in place. Please let that set, and it's as level as we can get it. Problem is the tub is shaped. It's kind of bowed this way, back and forth on both ends. So we measured from the ceiling down. We got levels on it, but there's just no way to get to be absolutely certain. The legs are on the floor. Let's put it that way. So hopefully everything works out with when tile goes in and looks good. We did put the blocking in for you, all that around the perimeter. We wanted to do that before your tile guy came in. He needs that, and we don't like to see the framer in with his nail gun after we've installed the tub, because it just leaves more room for damage. We are concerned about that window up there being broken, and hopefully none of that glass falls down here. Like I say, we're going to put that protector in over there, that Odie protector, and then we've got this styrofoam. We're going to about 3 layers of that underneath to build it up, and so it's protective until someone pulls it out of there, and they will when they start working in here. So anyways, that's the tub installed, that's the valve installed, it's the toilet installed, and then of course the water down there, that comes from underneath the old water line. Sorry, we didn't tell you about that when we were in there. So the old water line here for the toilet, we just tied it in right there. So that's the old line. And then we went into the floor. So all 3 of these lines, the hot, the cold, this cold, they just kind of sweep down and back up right here, and they're all insulated underneath and wrapped real good, and then stubbed out. So quarter turn valves in all 3 places, 1, 2, 3. Everything's strapped at the floor. If we have pipe going through, we've got plate straps, and it's just protection so you don't nail it. Both sides, anywhere there's plastic. And then of course the sewer line as well, there's a strap on that wall there to protect this. So that is this area. We did patch the floor for you, not part of our contract, but we did it anyway. So we got some nice 2x6, got a doubler right here, which means a double 2x6 floor joist right here, another double, and then framed across. This here piece is actually stiffer than the rest of your floor. You're on 4-foot wide girders, 1 1/8 tongue and groove plywood, and so there's a lot of flex to the floor, but that's real tight right there. Plus your sink's going to be sitting about it. So that's the bathroom. Kitchen. Went to take this apart, as we told you the other day, and testing it out, we went down underneath and your whole line was corroded. We have a video of that which will either attach to this or give it to you separately, but we sent you the video showing all the flooding downstairs, so that's been repaired. We've got a video of that. We did give you a clean out in here because it's required by code. You do have a clean out under the floor, but I highly doubt you're going to get a drain cleaner out here and crawl under your floor. So that's for the kitchen. It's required now to have one right there. So that'll be in your cabinet. And then, of course, brand new drain line tied back into the vent, done. Water line goes over to the ice maker box. We told you we give you new valves here. We did. And then so the hot is off right now because it doesn't need to be on. Cold is on because it's feeding this loop. And you'll just leave that in place. We will at finish. It'll stay just like that. We'll actually put a T in here and run the line up to the faucet. And then over here, this feeds the ice maker. And if you ever anybody decides to put filtration in or RO system, you're set. It just goes from the water to the RO system back to here. And now you have ice and water over at your refrigerator that you can use. So that's the Uponor box. Again, we use all Uponor tubing. It's type A. It's a premium product. It's much more expensive than type B. So that's what you've got in your home. So just looped it underneath there, got a little plate strap down there, got the box mounted, then of course additional backing behind it just so it doesn't move back and forth. And so that's installed. And again, we told you no drywall repair, but we did leave you the little piece of drywall right here. So, you know, if the guy can come out and he can cut it, put it back in place, and he's good to go. We did also mention, you know, you'd asked about the valve we were going to install, and we let you know what we do. What we're going to do is repipe this for you because it wasn't in the right place for your appliance. So you sent us the documents, and you can see on the floor, there's a little line right there. And then that's actually center, 15 inches out from the wall. And so we're within 2.5 up. There's a 5-inch square, and you can look at your documentation. We're stubbed out where we need to be. Of course, this nipple can be taken out, and you can get a shorter nipple in there, whatever you need to do. We like to put a 90 and then the valve on, so it's kind of running along the wall. And then put your flexible supply line when you hook up your gas. Now, that's Roger's appliance, which we sent you his information. So that'll be one of his projects. As well as if you'd like him to hook up your refrigerator when it comes, he can put a supply line on there. And then, of course, dishwasher, same thing. When he comes out, you can have him install your dishwasher. We do those things, but we charge about double what Roger does just because we're plumbing contractors. So I would go with him. Again, we trust Roger. We use him at our home. So that's all good. So I think that's the kitchen. Everything is done in here. Can you think of anything else? Can't think of anything else. Here's your piece of sheetrock from the back side of the wall right here. Fits back right there, and screw it in place, and you're good to go. So we framed this, so we cut it out, we framed it back in for you. One note is your wall on the back side, this whole framing in here is not 60 inches, it's about 60 and a half, 60 and 3/4. So you see a huge gap right there, and that's nothing we can do about that. You can certainly talk to your drywall guy. You talk to your tile guy, see what they'd like to do. We've got backing there for you, but it doesn't reach anything. So they're going to put the wallboard on, I guess. They'll just put it on there, and then by the time, you know, it should fill up most of that gap by the time you come back with, you know, for tile. I'm just not sure how that works. Anyways, we got little stuffed piece in here, and then a shim because we need to mount it to something, but it's below the tub level. So it doesn't, there's no conflict with anything. Same thing with that. Anywhere where we had to, we put a shim because the framing is so bad in here. You know, shim over there, shim right here. But it's strapped. So it's strapped, it's down, mortar setting, drains installed. Everything looks good. I think that is it in here. We're going to go ahead and get this little tub protector in here. Outside of that, this installation is done.